Hello, welcome everyone. Selamat malam. Welcome to the stream. It's my personiac streamer named Cantika. Pleasure to be meeting you. Quite a pleasure. Nah, hari ini aku mau lihat dulu deh. Ini kegedean gak sih? Kegedean gak sih? Mungkin ininya audio gamenya. But yeah, anyways, hari ini kita mau main Assemble with Care. Sebenarnya ini gamenya udah aku tamatin sih, but I wanted to make kegedean. Oke. Segini cukup gak? Halo Excel, halo Kak aku, selamat datang. Thank you for coming by. Nih udah tak main sebenarnya. Cuman because I wanted to play something yang agak laid back sih. Jadi mau main Alice Madness Returns, tapi kayak lagi pengen yang chill aja sih, yang bawaannya cozy dan gak terlalu mikir sih pasti, but like you get what I mean lah. So Assemble with Care is a game about assembling, and this assembling I guess ini arrival dulu, kita buka suitcase-nya dulu. Mulai ya.
After a year on the road, I thought
Ini
I'd get
ayam,
tired
halo
of
Epan.
traveling. The endless clatter of railways, highways, and everything in between.
Oh, ini namanya Maria. Dia lagi traveling keluar kota.
But as my train pulled into the station at Bellariva, I felt every bit as excited as the first day of my journey.
Tuh dia naik kereta, terus sampai di stasiun, nama kotanya Bellariva.
A whole year. It felt like a lifetime. The places I'd seen, the people I'd met, of course, the forgotten treasures I'd given a new lease of life along the way. I'm a restorer by trade. Bringing our most beloved possessions back to life is what I love to do. I'd been traveling for months, working my way from one town to the next, fixing everything from family heirlooms to VCRs.
Jadi Maria ini dia semacam tukang perbaikan gitu, dia ngeperbaikin barang, dan untuk bayarnya itu biasanya barter dia gitu.
Bellariva was my chance to take a break. Unfortunately, that would have to wait until after I'd unpacked.
Dia lagi liburan di Bellariva. Nih kita buka suitcase-nya dulu. Nah,
I picked up these
kacamata.
sunglasses on my last stop. Hopefully I'm cool enough to pull them off.
Ini apa? Lol. Thank you.
I saw a guitarist wearing these at a show once. Rock and roll repair woman at your
Nah,
service.
ini earrings apa sih? Anting. Halo Muhammad Nur Yasin, selamat datang, welcome to the stream. Ini paspor.
Passport. Not many blank pages left now.
Dia bilang not many blank pages, soalnya kan dia traveling terus kan.
The tools of my trade. No hope of restoring things without these.
Nah, ini alat-alat perkakas dia, ini baju dia.
My favorite overalls. These will never go out of style.
Sini, tau lah ya ini apa ya. Bahasa Indonesia apa ya? Anjir, gue mau bilang sikat gigi. Hang on, I got this. Sisir. Lol, absen. Halo Bang Potet, welcome to the stream. Semangat main OE-nya. Thank you for coming by. foto
parents took
dia.
this after I made my first repair. Seems like
Hairbrush, iya, sisir. Gue spam biar nomor 1, capek banget. Jangan spam bro.
looking forward to
Teh
taking
sisir,
more close
teh
ups at
sisri
my fingers
anjay,
with
beda
this.
tuh. Nih kameranya,
I'll hand these out once I'm settled in. Fingers crossed they get me some work.
pamflet.
Finally, I'd made it to Bellariva. I'd come for the food festival, taking place in a few days' time. After living off TV dinners and instant ramen for the last few months, I was craving a decent meal.
Jadi dia ke Bella Riva itu mau datang buat festival makanannya yang akan occur anjir, yang bakal okay, have fun streaming, don't forget to drink, snack, and stretch, see and chat, behave. Okay Bang Potet, thank you for coming. Dia ke festival makanan yang bakal ada beberapa hari lagi gitu.
Of course, I'd need to earn enough money to pay for it, so I figured I'd head out the next day and find some work.
Jadi untuk ke festivalnya nanti dia juga katanya butuh uang yang cukup. Jadi untuk besoknya dia pikir, oh I'll find some work, aku cari kerja lah gitu.
My parents never wanted me to go. They wanted me to stay in their shop and have a simple, stationary life. I knew there was a world out there, beyond the four walls of our antique store, that I had to be a part of.
Nah si Maria ini punya orang tuanya bilang gak usah pergi gitu, stay aja di shop mereka kan. Mereka jadi punya toko katanya, terus jangan kemana-mana. Sedangkan si Maria ini dia punya spirit lah untuk sama apa yang sama tuh, untuk adventure keluar ya. Dia bilang tuh, I knew there was a world out there, katanya, beyond the four walls of our antique store that I had to be a part of. Tuh dia lebih mau keluar dari rumah untuk explore.
I daydreamed constantly about the weird and wonderful places each of our antiques came from. I loved figuring out their stories, revealing the
Never
memories
wanted me
hidden
to
beneath the
go.
screws and wires.
I see. But you're adventurous gitu ya kak aku ya. Terus dia ngehalu tuh soal tempat-tempat di luar yang bagus-bagus, terus ada barang-barang antik gitu loh.
My story in Bellariva began with a little girl and a voice she was longing to hear.
Ceritaku di Bella Riva mulai dengan seorang anak perempuan dengan sebuah suara yang sudah lama ingin didengarkan. Salah. Ini kaset.
It was my first morning in Bellariva and I couldn't wait to leave my hotel and explore. It was a quiet town, its streets and alleyways basking peacefully in the hot morning sun.
Nih, katanya ini pagi pertama dia di Bella Riva, dia nggak bisa nunggu lama-lama untuk pergi dari hotel terus explore ya. Katanya kotanya itu damai, adem gitu, peaceful lah.
In the main square, meanwhile, preparations were underway for the festival in a few days' time.
Nah di main square-nya itu lagi ada preparation, lagi pada siap-siap untuk festivalnya untuk beberapa hari ke depannya.
As I handed out my flyers, I wondered what the people of Bellariva would need me to fix. So far, everything here seemed perfect.
Nah dia kan ngeluarin pamflet flyers dia tuh untuk kayak silakan ada yang mau direparasi gak, terus dia berpikir kayak apa ya yang orang-orang di Bella Riva itu butuh untuk direparasi soalnya kayaknya kelihatannya semuanya tuh sempurna deh gitu.
I was starting to worry I'd made a mistake when I felt someone tapping me on the back.
Hi, I'm Izzy. Do you know how to fix things?
Nah dia kan udah mulai nervous tuh kan, dia apa aku buat kesalahan ya katanya. Terus ada yang megang belakang dia tuh, halo namaku Izzy, kamu tahu gak cara untuk mereparasi barang?
It was a little girl, maybe 7 years old, who must have gotten hold of one of my flyers. She rummaged around in her backpack until she hauled out a battered red cassette deck.
Tuh di seorang anak kecil mungkin berumur 7 tahun yang mungkin udah dapat flyernya, terus dia ngerogoh tas dia untuk ngeluarin kaset merah.
My tape is broken and I can't make it work anymore.
Tape-nya broken, terus dia nggak bisa apa sih namanya? Ini gue sambil latihan translate anjir. Nggak bisa jadi gitu, nggak bisa hidup lagi katanya.
I tried to fix it myself, but there's this metal thing in the way. Can you try?
Tuh, aku mau reparasi sendiri, mau benerin sendiri, tapi ada sebuah meta, ada.
Aha! Those batteries look like they need replacing. Luckily, I have some spares.
Nah, ternyata baterainya habis. Salah. Dah. Nia.
Why did you do that?
Why did you do that? I mean, halo Fanya, sama datang, welcome to the stream. Ini masih ini yang, nah dibuka dulu, tape-nya masukin, udah Ben.
Will you dream a dream for me if I sit by your side and hold you so
When
tight?
it finished, Izzy picked up the tape deck and tucked it carefully into her backpack.
Dia masukin lagi ke dalam tasnya.
Thanks, Maria. You're the best person at fixing things ever.
No problem. Who was that singing? They're very good.
Makasih Maria, kamu keren banget bisa ngereparasi barang gitu katanya. Lama gak lewat Maci. Halo Fanya. Iya, long time no see Fanya. Gimana kabar kamu? Ya nggak masalah. Siapa tuh yang nyanyi? Nyanyinya bagus banget, dia bilang gitu.
It's my mum. She's not here anymore.
Izzy trailed off. It was the kind of silence a cassette tape would never be enough to fill.
Kangen, lutu. Tuh. Itu mama aku, dia udah nggak ada lagi, kata Izzy.
When Izzy's friends called for her, she dug deep into her pockets, looking for something to pay me with. Eventually, she produced a grand total of a stick of gum, 3 mismatched buttons, and a yo-yo.
Pretty good, I had a good rest day. Oh, that's really good. Ingat guys, jangan lupa untuk istirahat. Jangan lupa istirahat guys. Nah Izzy, dia bilang saat teman-temannya Izzy ngepanggil dia ngerogoh what is pocket, kantong dia untuk nyari sesuatu untuk ngebayar Maria katanya. Terus ada permen karet, ada button sama yoyo. Makcik pun stay hydrated sih, apanya, thank you.
I usually preferred a check, but Izzy looked so serious, I wrote out a full receipt.
Dia buat resipnya. Buat apanya? Bondnya.
She seemed like a happy kid, but beneath it all, part of her life had been shattered.
Dia kelihatan seperti anak yang sangat senang, tapi di balik itu ada sebagian sisi dari kehidupan dia yang pecah gitu.
Part I wouldn't be able to fix.
Sebuah sisi di mana aku nggak bisa Maria nggak bisa reparasi atau dia benerin. Ow.
My first repair complete, I spent the rest of the day doing small jobs in and around the square.
So first repairnya udah selesai, itunya udah selesai, dia jalan lagi ngerjain kerja kecil-kecilan.
I was exhausted when I got back to my hotel and found a message asking me to make one more visit.
Alright, speaking of hydrated, guess I'm a bit too hydrated today. Kenapa tuh? Maksudnya? Terlalu banyak minum kah, kembung kah? I was exhausted when I got back to my hotel and found a message asking me to make one more visit. Aku kecapean pas balik ke hotel dan menemukan satu pesan minta aku untuk visit satu tempat lagi.
The address led me to a quaint little house.
Kebanyakan
stone's
minum.
throw from the beach.
Kembung kah?
Bathed in the evening light, it looked beautiful, in spite of its flaking paintwork and chipped tiles.
Dia dikasih alamat, terus yang lead apa ya? Buat dia pergi ke rumah yang terlihat kecil, kayak gitu.
The front door was opened by a harried-looking man, still dressed from a long day at the office.
Are you Maria? My name's Joseph. I'm Isabel's father.
Jadi sering bolak-balik kamar mandi. Nggak apa-apa, stay hydrated. Nggak apa-apa bolak-balik ke kamar mandi. Joseph, kamu Maria, saya Joseph, papanya Isabel.
I'm so sorry she bothered you this morning. Please, come in. I'd like to settle up properly.
On the mantelpiece, I saw the remains of a broken statue. Without thinking, I picked up a fragment.
Maaf ya udah ngerepotin kamu pagi ini. Masuk sih katanya. Terus ada statue yang rusak nih.
My father's statue. What's left of it, at least. Yet another way I'd have disappointed him.
Patung ayahku katanya. Anjir, sebuah way di mana dia mengecewakan bapaknya. Anjir.
It survived 100 years in this family. But 5 minutes with Isabel and... Do you think you can salvage it?
Nih, katanya the statue, freaking patungnya udah ratusan tahun, tapi karena 5 menit sama Isabel ya, bisa tolong dibenerin nggak katanya? Mari kita coba.
Will you be able to see the glue afterwards? I don't want people seeing the cracks.
Okay, chill, broski. We'll get this straight. Nah.
Is this glue really strong enough to hold everything together?
Pak, diam, Pak. Badan. Sabar. Tutut.
Sometimes I think my daughter should come with a warning label.
Nah. Udah deh. Aman, Mas.
Thank you, Maria. It looks as perfect as it ever did. My father wanted me to make something of myself. He didn't have time for anything less.
Makasih Maria, itu terlihat sempurna seperti sebelumnya dong gitu. Aku mau membuat sesuatu untuk saya, tapi ya dia nggak punya apa-apa lagi gitu.
As Joseph put the statue back on the shelf, it nudged against the family portrait stood proudly next to it. So he was Bellariva's mayor. And that was Izzy's mom. They must both miss her so much.
Lemnya kalau dikit nggak lengket kah? Tahu deh. Jadi si Joseph ini dia mayor itu apa ya? Gubernur ya? Gubernur Bellariva, dan ini mamanya Izzy.
Sorry, I'm a little tired. I've been working late getting things sorted for the festival. There's only a few days to go. Looks like I'll be working late. Again?
Maaf ya, saya sedikit lelah. Saya kerja. Saya selama ini bekerja dengan sangat kerja lembur ya gitu buat festivalnya. Terus tinggal beberapa hari lagi. Kayaknya hari ini bakal lembur lagi deh katanya.
When I told my parents I wanted to leave, they always found an excuse to be busy, to avoid talking about it. I guess keeping themselves occupied was their way of pretending it wasn't happening.
Pas Maria bilang katanya, pas aku bilang ke orang tua aku mau pergi, mereka cari alasan untuk jadi sibuk, untuk biar ada alasan gitu lah.
Joseph's work must have been taking up so much of his time. But maybe that was what he wanted. I just hoped he was finding enough time for Izzy too.
Joseph's work must have been taking up so much time. Pekerjaannya si Joseph pasti makan banyak waktu dia juga, jadi kayak sedikit waktu untuk Izzy gitu loh. Yang mana besok aja deh ceritanya. Oke. Halo cookies. Lanjut.
My second day in Bellariva dawned bright and clear. Another beautiful sunny morning.
Hari kedua aku di Bellariva katanya.
Walking into town, I passed cafes overflowing with customers cradling their morning coffees. I stopped, breathing in the smell of roasted coffee beans and freshly baked pastries.
Dia jalan-jalan di kota, ngelewatin beberapa kafe, terus ya orang-orang menikmati kopi pada pagi hari mereka ya.
I was about to go inside when the owner of Carmen's, the cafe next door, stopped me.
Hello, Maria? Were you here yesterday handing out flyers? I have a job for you.
Pas aku mau masuk, well, I was about to go inside when the owner of Carmen's, the cafe next door, stopped me. Oh, jadi ini Carmen ini dia pemilik kafe sebelah dari kafe yang Maria mau masuk. Terus dia bilang, halo, kamu Maria? Kamu kemarin yang ngebagiin flyer ya? Aku punya pekerjaan buat kamu katanya.
Her place was petite, tucked between its competitors as if hoping they wouldn't notice. Judging by the empty tables inside, though, her potential customers hadn't noticed it either.
Kecil, kafenya kecil. Dan sepi.
It's a bit slow today, but we're just getting started. I'm sure it'll pick up soon.
As Carmen chatted, she walked over to the counter and returned with an old rotary phone.
At least I've got plenty of time to practice my recipe for the festival. It's a new special I've been working on. I was hoping to call my sister for some seasoning tips, but it won't connect.
Dia jadi si Carmen ini mau ngikut festival makanannya kan. Dia udah latihan, terus dia mau telepon kakak dia, tapi ya nggak mau. Teleponnya tuh nggak mau connect gitu loh.
Can you see if you can figure out what's wrong?
Reparasi lah guys.
You can fix it, can't you? I can't afford to replace it. Obviously, we'd normally be much busier than this.
Nggak usah deh. Oh, it's busted. Okay. This goes here. This goes here.
Looks like this new circuit board is all hooked up.
Open sini. Okay. Oops. Nih. Dah.
When I handed the phone back to Carmen, she seemed almost reluctant to take it from me.
Pas sudah selesai kayak nggak mau diambil gitu sama dia.
So it's all working now, is it? I don't have to leave it to dry or let it cool down?
Nope, it's ready to go. It'll be ringing off the hook in no time.
Dia kayak takut-takut gitu.
That's if I can pay my phone bill anyway. And the rent and the suppliers. Anyway, take a seat and I'll be right with you. Your coffee's on the house.
Buset. Bisa bayar bill semuanya, rent dan lain-lain kalau bisa katanya.
I sat at one of the empty tables, while at the counter, Carmen had started dialing the phone.
Hello, how's my favorite sister doing today?
Dia telepon kakaknya tuh.
As she talked, Carmen became more and more tense. This didn't seem like a call for some cooking advice.
Sepertinya ini bukan telepon yang nanyain saran makan untuk memasak deh katanya.
I know I still owe you from last time, but I can't afford to take part in the festival if I don't pay.
I could almost feel the eye roll at the other end of the line.
Aku tahu aku masih ngutang buat yang terakhir, tapi aku nggak bisa bayar bagian ini kalau misalnya, dan bagian dari festivalnya kalau misalnya aku nggak bayar katanya.
You don't need to be here though. Can't you just put the check in the post?
Anjir, lo nggak harus kesini katanya. Lo nggak bisa buat ceknya, kasih aja gitu.
When the call ended, Carmen brought me my coffee, her hands trembling.
Sorry about that. My sister's decided to fly in for a visit. Oh god, I have to get ready.
Maaf ya, kakakku bakal terbang ke sini katanya. Aduh buset, gue harus siap-siap katanya.
Actually, I might have another job for you. Can you come by tomorrow?
Kayaknya aku punya pekerjaan deh buat kamu besok katanya. Iya kayak gitu, kayak bisa datang lagi gak besok katanya.
The next day, I'd promised Carmen I'd return to help her get the cafe ready for her sister's arrival.
Hari berikutnya aku udah janji untuk sama Carmen untuk ngebantu dia di cafe.
I was about to set out when I received an unexpected call from my hotel's reception desk. Apparently, another guest had asked for me by name.
Pas dia mau keluar, si Maria ini dapat telepon dari resepsionis hotelnya, katanya ada salah satu guestnya dari tamu nanyain Maria.
Curious, I took the creaking elevator up to the top floor and made my way to the room number they'd given. I knocked.
Are you here about the camera? It's about time.
Nah ini Helena katanya, kamu kesini untuk kameranya bukan? Untuk perbaikin kameranya bukan?
The woman in front of me was immaculate. Not a hair out of place or a crease to be seen.
My sister tells me you know how to fix things. I'd usually go to an expert, of course, but in this town...
Kata saudara perempuanku, kamu bisa ngereparasi barang katanya. Biasanya aku ke tempat yang lebih expert sih, lebih profesional gitu. Tapi ya di tempat ini, kota ini.
So this was Carmen's sister? The two of them couldn't have been more different.
Jadi ini saudarinya si Carmen, kok nggak sama gitu.
Inside her room, I saw a beautiful reflex camera. Any professional photographer's dream.
Pas aku masuk kamarnya, ada kamera dari orang-orang fotografer profesional gitu.
The viewfinder is completely dark. I can't see anything through it at all. I assume you can figure out what's wrong.
Viewfinder nih apa nih, gue nggak tahu. Pokoknya kameranya nggak bisa lah ya. Jadi kita masuk, kita buka dulu. Bentar. Lihat.
I don't suppose you've fixed anything this valuable before.
Parah banget loh ngomong begitu.
If I use the screwdriver, I could adjust the angle of the mirror.
Sabar. Sabar broski.
Perfect. Now the viewfinder should be working.
Ini masukin ini. Sini. Sini. Udah deh.
I felt a pang of envy as I handed the camera to Helena. I put my disposable to shame.
Chill sekali gamenya. Chilled apaan anjir? Halo Bang Ling, selamat datang, welcome to the stream.
I picked it up on my first trip to Paris. It's a 1958 limited edition, the first of its kind. It cost me 3 months' salary, but it was worth it.
I had no idea what 3 months' salary meant to Helena, but I was pretty sure it was more than I could afford.
Gue nggak ngerti tuh 3 bulan gaji tuh maksudnya apa kalau buat Helena, tapi yang pasti nggak sesuatu yang bisa gue beli gitu ya. Can't afford.
It was strange, really, that we were even staying in the same hotel. I'd picked this place because it was cheap and cheerful, but surely she could afford somewhere better?
Walau
She took some test shots, fiddling with the camera settings until she was absolutely satisfied.
This work is immaculate. At least there's one person in this town who knows what they're doing.
gila.
Sending you to me might be the first thing Carmen's actually gotten right.
I wondered why Helena had bothered coming if she thought so little of her sister.
Betul. Ngapain jauh-jauh datang kalau misalnya dia mikirinnya dikit banget soal saudaranya.
I hear nothing from her for weeks, and then when she finally does call me, all she wants is money. If she thinks I'm lending her another penny, she'll have to convince me it's not a total waste of time.
Buset. Jadi si Carmen ini nggak ngehubungin Helena berminggu-minggu, tapi pas dia nelfon minta uang gitu. Nah, kalau misalnya minta pinjam lagi, dia harus nge-convince Helena kalau itu nggak buang-buang waktu dia.
That didn't sound good. If Hurricane Helena was about to hit, I hoped Carmen was ready. The sun was setting over Bellariva by the time I reached Carmen's cafe. From the outside, it looked as quiet as ever, but inside, I found Carmen cleaning like her life depended on it.
Maria! Oh, don't mind all of this. If Helena finds one speck of dust in here, I'll never hear the end of it.
Ada lagi bersih-bersih buat ini biar nggak ketahuan sama
Carmen
kakaknya.
seemed pleased to see me, but I sensed the fidgeting tension beneath each sweep of her mop. Trying to live up to the standards of someone like Helena seemed like an impossible task.
I hope you didn't mind fixing the camera for her. She was furious when it broke. I really need this to go well. If she doesn't lend me the money, I don't know how long I can keep this place going.
Oh.
Carmen led me to a back room where she'd laid out the components of what looked like a neon sign.
I had this made when I first opened the cafe, but I'm hopeless with electronics.
So there was supposed to be a sign outside. This might explain the lack of customers.
Dia ngebuka toko tapi belum ada kayak
I'd
ini
like to put it up before Helena gets here. Can you give it a try?
punya toko tapi dia nggak punya apa ya kayak sign-nya gitu. Okay. This is a bit tricky. Okay. Ntar sini. Woi. Okay.
I don't know, it's a bit flat. Maybe if it flashes, it'll really catch people's eye.
Great idea. I think I have a spare part that could do that.
Buka lagi anjir. Carmen. Hah? Oke.
It still needs something else. Maybe we can add one of these.
Apa nih? Cafe ya? Cafe. Hello? Oh, selam dulu. Terus ke sini. Sini. Nah.
It works. I'll screw everything together again and you'll be set.
Okay. Oh, ini.
The sign fixed. We had...
Oh, that's perfect, Maria. It looks just how I imagined it. When I had this sign made, it all seemed so simple. Oh, I can't believe I might have to give it all up. I hope I've done enough.
The smile froze on her face as she spotted something over my shoulder. I turned to see.
Of course, my sister owns the only cafe in this entire town that isn't actually open.
For better or worse, Helena had arrived. Carmen opened her mouth to explain, but Helena swept indifferently past her. Finally pausing in the doorway, she turned back towards Carmen.
The first thing we're doing is getting rid of that hideous sign.
Anjir.
And with that, she disappeared inside. I hoped Carmen's chances of saving the cafe hadn't disappeared with her. It was the day before the festival, and the whole town was busy getting ready. I had more work than I knew what to do with. When Joseph called with another job, I was craving the cool quiet of his and Izzy's seafront house. I'd barely reached their front door when I heard someone calling me.
Psst, Maria, I need your help. Quickly, it's top secret.
Top
It
secret.
was Izzy, peeking out from the side of the house. She beckoned for me to follow her. She led me through to a beautiful, unruly garden overflowing with flowers of every color. Nestled among them was a playhouse, its doorway almost completely obscured by a towering rose bush.
You have to squeeze past it and breathe in real small, like this.
Izzy took in a big gulp of air and crawled through the gap and into the playhouse. I hadn't planned on crawling in the dirt today, but the life of a repairwoman never did run smooth. On the table inside, there was an electronic toy. Not exactly the usual stock in my parents' antique shop.
I had an accident. I didn't do it on purpose or anything, but it won't turn on anymore.
It won't turn
Can you
anymore.
fix it for me?
Oh, it's busted. Hmm. Harus dibuka dulu ya. Oh. Hmm. Uh.
Do grown-ups play games as well? Can you show me how to play? I tried before, but it was so hard.
Nah. Congratulations.
Her toy fixed, I watched Izzy retreat into its screen, taking refuge in a 3-inch world of her own. Well, I'd better head inside. Your dad is waiting for me.
Please don't tell him about the game. He'll think I broke it on purpose.
Jangan kasih tahu tentang mainannya, nanti dikirain aku ngerusaknya dengan sengaja.
Why would he think that?
Because, well, I kind of dropped it really hard at the wall.
Kok bapak kamu bisa berpikir seperti itu? Iya, soalnya aku ngejatohin dengan sangat keras ke dinding.
Izzy looked down, scuffing her shoes on the worn floor of the playhouse.
My dad said I had to go to this stupid festival tomorrow and put on a stupid dress, and I don't want to. All he cares about is working. He never wants to see me unless it's for his job. I'm not going. He can't make me.
Anjir, kabur ya.
With that, Izzy dove back through the rosebush and disappeared into the wilds of the garden. She was so young. She couldn't be expected to see that her dad was struggling too. It made me think, had I really tried hard enough to understand my parents' point of view? I was so focused on the adventures ahead of me. Maybe I didn't care enough about leaving them behind. Leaving Izzy hiding in the garden, I walked around to the front of the house and rang the doorbell. It was only then I noticed my favorite overalls covered in grass stains. I scrubbed desperately, but it was too late.
Maria, what are you doing? What happened to your clothes?
Tuh, bajumu kenapa katanya?
I was, repairing a lawnmower.
How unusual. Well, do come in. The job I've got for you is a little more delicate.
Totally embarrassed, I walked into an orderly room filled with papers and ledgers. So this was his office. You must be so busy getting ready for the festival. Are you looking forward to it?
Of course. It's traditional for the mayor to judge food from every cafe and restaurant in town. I'll be declaring the best chef in Bella Riva by this time tomorrow. Speaking of which...
He unclipped the watch from his wrist and very carefully handed it to me.
I'll have a tight schedule to follow, but my watch stopped working a while ago. Could you see if you can make it tick again?
The main plate has completely cracked. I'll need to replace it. The cogs look good, though. If I'm careful, I can reuse those.
Are you sure it will all fit back together?
Tenang, Pak. Anda berbicara kepada profesional.
I've not gone a day without this watch since my wife gave it to me.
Terus yang ini dan this one. Apa lagi? What else? Close. Hmm? Oh. Hmm.
As I handed the watch back to Joseph, my fingers traced over the engraving on the back. I hoped fixing this was one small way I could help him move forward.
I can't believe it's working, Maria. Thank you. My wife was a brilliant woman. Feeling this ticking on my wrist, it makes me feel like she's still here. Watches measure minutes and hours like they're infinite. I didn't know we had so little time. Even with Isabel, I barely see her. And when I do, she acts like she hates me.
Just then, the phone rang. Even when he was at home, his work was never done.
Sorry, Maria. I have to take this. I'll see you at the festival.
As I left, I turned and saw him pacing the floor of his office, his watch glinting in the afternoon sun. I hoped its quiet ticking would at least bring him some peace during the busy days to come. When my last job of the day brought me to Carmen's apartment.
Sorry for inflicting this mess on you. Carmen's never seen a knickknack she doesn't want to buy, apparently.
Carmen's apartment was a little chaotic, but totally charming. It was easy to imagine her living in a place like this. It definitely wasn't Helena's style. She seemed more upmarket than flea market. I wondered why she was even here.
Nemo,
We're having
halo
a
Alisa mau
clear
datang to the
out.
stream.
At least I am. Carmen's not helping, as usual. There's a market at the festival tomorrow. I'm selling some of these things to make her some money. She says she has nothing when there's all this stuff right under her nose.
Helena stepped delicately past the items on the floor and reached down to pick up one from the pile.
Look at this slide projector. Our parents treasured it, but Carmen treats it like a piece of junk. Can you take a look?
This is...
Oh, typical. Carmen's even managed to get a slide stuck in here.
That light bulb is completely... Okay, I'll need to redirect the light to the lens at the top for the projector to work.
I was so excited when I moved to the city. Carmen She looks so sad. Here's the clicker you'll need to attach. God knows how Carmen broke that as well. When we were younger, Carmen was always following me around.
Those screws still need to be put back.
Those what?
I suppose she looked up to me. A cool older sister. She used to ask me when I was coming home, but I was always too busy.
I think I've missed a screw somehow.
Hmm? Okay.
Helena was transfixed, staring at the two young sisters the projector had brought glaringly into focus.
I never meant to let her down.
But you haven't, have you? You came all this way just to help with the cafe. Plus the money.
That's the problem. There is no money. I lost my job a few months ago. My savings are almost gone. I have nothing.
Dia pun tidak punya pekerjaan.
Carmen thinks I'll throw my checkbook at her bad decisions and make them okay. But I can't. Not this time. You know, the funny thing is, I came here wanting to tell her the truth. But she's so infuriating. How can I ask her for help when all she cares about is herself?
Helena fell silent, shrinking under the gaze of her younger self, projected onto the wall.
We drifted so far apart when I moved away. It felt like the only thing keeping us together was my bank balance. I know I have to tell her the truth. It isn't fair. But I already lost everything else. What if I lose her too?
The day of the festival finally came, and after all my hard work, I was ready to put down my tools and pick up a fork. The smell as I entered the competition would start any minute. Most stall holders were waiting anxiously for the mayor to pay them a visit. All of them, that was, except Carmen, who was still frantically chopping vegetables and stirring pots.
Maria! Helena was supposed to help me run the stall today, but she never turned up. Probably too ashamed to show her face. I can't believe she lied to me.
Carmen was stirring so furiously, she was in danger of tipping the pot over altogether.
The mayor will be here any minute for the judging, but I'm almost out of my special.
She wasn't really going to ask me, was she? Not on my day off.
I have a stove ready to build and everything. Can you set it up and make me a spare batch?
Anjir. Mana sih? Tudul. Rasanya kayak didongengin ya, anjay.
I think that pot is really boiling now. Smells great if I say so myself. Here are the ingredients that Carmen's given me. What to add first?
Nih. 1 pint of stock. What's a stock? 1/4 butter. Half of carrot. Two broccoli. And 4 chopped tomatoes.
That looks good. I'll scoop a spoonful when I'm ready to serve.
Three wild mushrooms. Plenty of onion.
My part done, Carmen took over and added the finishing touches. It was just in time, and a moment later,
Mat malam kakak Hao, Blueberry selamat datang, welcome to the stream.
Anxiously handed them both.
That was so tasty. Can I have some more, please?
Well, you've certainly earned yourself a loyal customer in my daughter. We have a few more meals to taste, but so far you are one of the best. Good luck.
Joseph and Izzy looked so happy together. Maybe the festival was doing them some good after all.
Game lucu apa ini? Ini nama gamenya Assemble with Care.
Carmen, on the other hand,
Apa
seemed
kabar?
annoyed.
Aku
But
baik-baik aja.
why, when it had
Everything
all
is
gone
nice.
so well?
I wish Helena was here to see this. She's so convinced I'll never succeed at anything.
She wants what's best for you. She's just not very tactful about it.
Yes, I know. Even when I was a kid, she pushed me when no one else did. I just wish she hadn't lied to me. But then, I've asked so much of her over the years. I never stopped to think how much she actually had to give.
The festival finished. I couldn't go without saying goodbye to Carmen. So, that evening, I made my way to the cafe. It was unrecognizable. She'd done it. Best food in Bella Riva. Half the town was outside waiting to see what the fuss was about.
Maria! My favorite sous chef! Come on through!
It was Carmen, acting every inch the successful cafe owner she deserved to be. Even Helena was there, serving the coffees. This was the last place I expected to see her after yesterday's drama. Carmen led me through to a balcony upstairs, where she brought out an old record player.
I found out where Helena was on the day of the festival. She was selling her camera to clear the cafe's debts. But then she didn't have much left for herself. So, I've asked her to come and stay with me for a while. We have a lot of catching up to do.
Kamera dijual dong.
I wanted to give her this, to cheer her up. We listened to it all the time when we were kids. Do you think it has one last tune in it?
Okay, let's see what happens when we turn this on. The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring. the speed dial connected. Now we should be able to change it. The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring.
Wiringnya salah ya?
I think that should do it. It's spinning the wrong way. How can I get it to play in the right direction? It must be to do with the motor. Let's see if one of these spares can turn things around. If I turn the volume up, I should be able to hear it now. This motor doesn't seem to work. Maybe I'll have better luck with a different one.
Salah. Lepas dulu. This one, this here and here.
Well, it's playing in the right direction. I should check it's turning at the correct speed.
What will remain of these days? The sweetest word.
Dah. Lama guys.
The record player's crackling tune must have caught Helena's ear, as she appeared a few moments later.
Is that my old record player? I can't believe you've kept it all these years, Carmen.
Leaning over the music, they looked just like the young sisters the slide projector had preserved all these years, inseparable once again. Carmen told me about your camera. That was a really generous thing to do.
I loved that camera, but I love my sister more. Now it's her time to be the person she wants to be. I'm going to stay here with her for a while. Make up for lost time.
Carmen and Helena's relationship wasn't suddenly going to be perfect, but they were both prepared to try. And to think, it had all started because of a call Carmen made about some seasoning tips. I guess in the end, maybe it wasn't so hard to just pick up the phone and dial. I hadn't spoken to my own parents in a year. I wanted to hear their voices more than anything. But the silence between us was so cavernous. I didn't know how I'd ever find the words to bridge it. My final morning in Bella Riva, I received one last call out to Joseph and Izzy's house. I knew I had to pack, but I figured I could squeeze in one final job before I had to leave. When I arrived,
You've made quite the impression. Izzy, tells me she's going to be a repairwoman like Maria.
I'm sure she could be anything she wanted if she put her mind to it.
She could. She's a brilliant child. Spending the day with her at the festival, I haven't had so much fun in ages. I wanted to give her something before she starts to forget.
Aww.
Inside, the house was transformed, flooded with light and the sounds of the garden. It felt alive again. This would be my last repair in Bella Riva, but it felt like it was the house that had really been restored.
It's a music box. It used to play beautifully, but now when I wind it up, nothing happens. I'd love for Izzy to hear it sing again. Can you help?
Nah ini lumayan nih.
This mechanism is completely broken. I'll need to take it all apart before I can fix it.
Nope. Aduh. Okay.
Maria, could you add this family picture of us? Apa ya? No. Gimana sih? Kok dia nggak mau muter ya? Malah bikin ngantuk lama-lama.
Perfect. The mechanism is good as new. Looks like something is still missing.
Something is still missing? Screw dive.
I think that's everything back together again.
My wife used to sing this song to Izzy each night before bed, but I always worked too late to join them. Will you dream a dream for me? I sit by your side. I've missed so much already. I want to be the father my wife wanted me to be. I've ended up so much like my own father, working all the time. Izzy needs me more than that, especially now it's just the two of us. My daughter comes first. Well, until she gets bored of her stuffy old dad anyway.
I'll never
Izzy came running into the room where Joseph scooped her up and onto his shoulders. She gazed at the music box, her eyes shining. I'd never seen her look so happy.
Thank you, Maria, for everything. The things you fixed for me. I'm so glad to have them back.
I'll never ever get
She gazed at the Joseph was a good father, and I could tell he was determined to be an even better one. When it came down to it, that was all any of us wanted. A second chance to make something right. My time in Bellariva was almost over, but before I left, I knew there was something of my own I needed to fix.
Nih, chapter terakhir guys, chapter terakhir.
My time in Bellariva was almost at an end. Another chapter finished in a story whose ending I hadn't felt ready to write. The people I'd met, the items I'd restored, they'd taught me so much about what was really important. Pulling out my suitcase from beneath the bed, I remembered the day I stole it from my parents' shop. The day I left.
What's this game about, by the way? Dia gamenya ngereparasi barang gitu loh. Dan ada cerita-ceritanya juga. Halo, ternyata sama datang welcome to the stream. Dia ngereparasi barang, ada ceritanya juga di dalamnya.
Joseph's idea of light reading for the train. It does look thorough. My parents would love Bellariva. Maybe I can convince them to make the trip. My suitcase was full, but it was my heart that felt heavy as I made my way to the station. I was sorry to be leaving Bellariva behind, but I hoped that in my own small way I'd made a difference. Helena and Carmen's reunion was possible because they'd learned to overcome their differences. Joseph had realized he shouldn't let his grief or his work get in the way of his relationship with Izzy. I knew it would be easier to jump on the next train, put even more distance between us, but I finally felt ready to talk to them. I just didn't know if they would feel the same. Did I even remember their number? I wasn't sure until I reached for the phone and it all came flooding back. Mom? Dad?
Maria? Is that you?
Selesai guys. Ceritanya memang pendek. But it was nice. Selesai guys gamenya. Skip. Ini ada satu lagi, tapi lanjut gak? Lanjut gak ya? Lanjut tidak ya? Tidy up kinda game, huh? Yeah, tidy up. Kinda tidy up. Ngereparasi barang sih.
Luckily, she's always running around. She misses, of course. I saw Maria use her screwdriver a million times. Taking this apart will be easy. How can there be so much steam? Ugh, I'm getting soaked.
Nope.
That steam doesn't look good. There must be something wrong with the pipes.
ini udah bener. Mana ya? Sini kah? Tamatin, jangan nanggung. Iya.
Finally, no more steam.
Okay, there's no more steam, but like ini apa? Terus mana? No. What? What? Oh, kok dulu anjir. Satu geledek. Nope. Nah. Anjay kata gua. Swag. Nih. Anjay.
I think that's everything. Better test the buttons, just to make sure. All done. Piece of cake. Time to make my first coffee, I think. Smells delicious. Now to make it look magical.
Nah. Nah ini. Anjir.
A perfect coffee. All it needs is a saucer and a couple of Helena's favourite biscuits.
Anjir Lotus.
I was feeling more has-been than coffee queen.
Has been? Is that a has been hotel
She finally
reference?
spotted it, though. I'll admit, she was impressed enough to ask for it. It made me realise how much.
Selesai guys. Selesai. It's just 1 hour and almost 30 minutes. I mean gamenya udah pernah gue mainin juga sih, cuman what's it called, gabut aja pengen mainin lagi, ya udah sekalian di streamin gitu. Siapa tahu ada yang belum nonton, ada yang belum tahu mainnya kayak gimana, ya kurang lebih kayak gini lah dia, nge-repair barang, lain-lain, dan ada storynya juga. Storynya agak nge-relate beberapa sih. So yeah. Yes, permainannya sampai situ aja guys. Thank you. Ya, nggak terlalu banyak sih, nggak terlalu panjang juga, dan ya something like that. Thank you guys sudah for coming. Thanks for coming by, of course. Udah nemenin aku main ulang game Assemble with Care. Kita apa namanya, absen dulu ya. Ada Teng-Teng, ada EXO, ada Blueberry, ada Cookies, ada Ali, ada Bang Ling, ada Kako, ada Vanya, ada Bang Pota, ada Tikus Merah, ada Epan, dan juga teman-teman lainnya yang sudah standby, udah stay untuk nemenin aku main Assemble with Care. Thank you. Aku sampai sini dulu untuk malam ini. I'll see you guys in the next stream. May the moon and stars let us meet again. Bye bye.